Hello and welcome to Currency Call with me, Manisha Gupta. Well, the Indian rupee is trading in a narrow band with an upside bias due to dollar's weakness against the major currencies. But dollar demand from oil importers and fall in local markets and lackluster dollar inflows is something that's weighing onto the currency right now. And the rupee is holding at 44.32, a very narrow range, as I said, nearly 2 paise of a loss coming in for that one. But what's doing well is the Asian currencies, and those are trading higher, led by South Korea's won and Taiwan dollar, on speculation that a pickup in yuan appreciation will make regional central banks more tolerant of gains in coming days. The People's Bank of China has set its reference rate for yuan at a record 6.6242 per dollar, and this is the yuan's biggest jump since June. The move comes back, of course, ahead of the G20 meeting that's ongoing in Seoul right now. The euro, that's one currency that continues to decline against the dollar and the Japanese yen, following a report that Spain's economy stalled in the third quarter. Investors, of course, are now concerned that the Europe countries will struggle to get budget deficits as the recovery falters, putting further pressure on the euro. The euro currently holding still below 1.38. Remember, it has declined 3.5% in last 4 sessions alone. The dollar index is marginally up. That's gained 3% in last 4 sessions and just holding about 1/4% higher at this point in time. But there's a lot expected from the G20, lots of statements coming in, and chatting currencies with us today is K. Anant Rao, CEO of Kurtosis.in. He joins us in our Mumbai studios. Anant, hi, welcome to the show. The G20 first, what are you expecting from there, and how do you think that would impact the dollar index going forward?
Look, dollar index has actually been trying desperately to cross up around 78.5. It has already done 2 attempts. First, it tried to pull up from the levels of 76.10, then again went down to make a low at around 75.60 odd. And even yesterday it went up to around 78.30. So, in a way, I can say the short-term resistance for dollar index is 78.50. You need to see whether it sustains couple of days above it, and then only one can say that yes, dollar will again start to strengthen. Till such time, the bias in dollar is certainly not termed as positive.
Sure. You know, there have been some international reports which say that the dollar index is expected to outperform in the coming 6 months, especially versus the euro and the Japanese yen. Is that showing on your charts?
Japanese yen, I doubt. Euro, possibly yes. On the charts, Japanese yen actually was one of the biggest reasons for dollar index to actually come down so drastically. We saw it collapsing all the way from 92, 93 to around 80. Right now, Japanese yen, which is trading at around nearly 82.25, has resistance around 81.25. If it breaks below 81.25 on the for Japanese yen, then dollar would see further weakening, and you could see a 79.60, which is a 15-year support for Japanese yen, could be tested.
Sure. So in that case, where do you see the Japanese yen? Because we've seen levels like 80.13 also come in, and from those levels we've seen it come back to those intervention levels the first time the Japanese bank actually came into the markets. How would you want to trade this one?
Short-term weakness in Japanese yen, or you can say a pullback, because after a 10-point decline, this yen has to give some kind of a bounce back. So ideally, the point at which the intervention announcement came in, that was around 85.5 or 86, that can be a logical target for this pullback. But beyond that, dollar has to have some real good reason to strengthen.
Coming back to euro, and that really is stuck in a range, because we have seen 1.42 continue to be a resistance on the lower side. 1.3637 has kind of held on. Do you see euro continue in this range, or do you see a break happening?
I remember coming on your show 5 weeks ago. It was 1.3775, and I had said that 1.42 would be a resistance. We have seen that resistance getting tested twice, and both the times it has come back to its lower end at around 1.37 again. I reiterate that till the time euro is holding 1.3650 on a daily or preferably a weekly closing basis, the journey upward continues. 1.42 is a major resistance as proven in the last 5 weeks. Till the time that gets broken, nothing much to cheer for the longs.
Sure. Let's come back to G20 really, because the kind of statements that are coming ahead of the communique that would happen tomorrow, markets really feel that there isn't going to be very concrete statements coming in. The differences are still not resolved. How do you see the currencies really reacting to it, given the current scenario when we have so much of excess liquidity into the markets?
Look, on the back of the with G20 ahead of us, many statements, or I would say for a trader, it would be termed as noise. Noise coming in, and the jitteriness is there to be seen on the screen. So ideally, you will see an increase in volatility. Until unless there is some concrete step happening as a statement coming out from the G20, I don't think anything major significant is going to happen. Only a range will be held, but it would be revisited both upper and lower end, as the ranges would be tested multiple times.
That brings us to rupee really, and we have seen some appreciation come into that one. 44, 25, 20 kind of levels is what we have seen. We also have tested 43.95 on the best upper side. How do you see that one going ahead?
Yes, rupee in this phase is actually not said to be in a position of weakness. It will strengthen given that all this developments happening. But for a trader, 43.95 or 44.02, the range would be immediate resistance for the trader. If it has to break that, and if it does it decisively, you could see a level of something like 43.47 odd coming in the short run.
Let's talk about the Asian markets now, and those seem to be really taking cues from the yuan, which we have seen appreciate quite strongly in the last 3 or 4 sessions. Starting with yuan, what kind of levels or expectations do you have from China in sense of monetary tightening and that impacting the yuan?
I think China will, as a country, will keep you guessing. After June, it has come and done a reference rate change again, and it was morely unannounced. It took most of us by surprise. I think for the next 2 to 3 months, again they will be quiet and again do one such changes after a quarter or so. So largely I would avoid a currency like yuan to trade.
But its impact on Asian currencies can't really be ignored, because that's the only sector which is trading on the positive side today. If you look at Taiwanese dollar, Korean won, I mean, I see those spaces trading in the green right now. What is the strength? Where is the strength actually coming in from them right now?
Across Asian currencies, the Taiwanese dollar or the Hong Kong dollar or the Singapore dollar or a Korean won, because these currencies are not termed as one of those high liquid currencies, is coupled with the fact that the reference rate change by China in such a manner which takes it by surprise, makes it all the more difficult to trade. A good trader would ideally look to trade currencies which are much more liquid, like a Aussie dollar or a GBP, and try to position himself accordingly.
All right, and I'll let you go at that. So that's the view coming in for currencies ahead of the G20 Communique. Not much may come out of it, and you may continue in this current scenario. And markets quite a lot in that sense have factored that in. So you might see some appreciation happen in case of Euro, Japanese yen and rupee. And if you want to put currencies, that's the commodity currencies, then Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar are some currencies which might see some upbreak in the coming days. With that, it's a wrap on this segment of Currency Call. Thank you for watching. Business Day coming up next.